I'd like to call to order the City Council meeting for the City of Highland Park, Illinois, July 14th, 2025. Will the clerk please call the roll?
Councilmember Center.
Present.
Councilmember Bruckman.
Here.
Councilmember Ross.
Here.
Councilmember Tapia.
Present.
Councilmember Littlewer.
Here.
Councilmember Bloomberg.
Here.
Mayor Rotering.
Here, we have a quorum. Everyone please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the regular City Council meeting held June 16th, 2025?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, the minutes are approved. May I have a motion to approve the warrant list?
So moved. Second.
Any comments or questions on the warrant list? Hearing none, will the clerk please call the vote?
Councilmember Center.
Aye.
Councilmember Bruckman.
Aye.
Councilmember Ross.
Aye.
Councilmember Tapia.
Aye.
Councilmember Littlewer.
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomberg.
Aye.
Mayor Rotering.
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays, and the warrant list is approved. Continuing on to the report of the mayor. It's hard to believe, I cannot believe we're saying this, but after nearly 700 days, 50 people, including 2 Americans, are still held in Gaza. As we have since October 7th, 2023, we continue to stand in solidarity with the innocent people who were captured, as well as their family and loved ones in Highland Park, in Israel, and around the world. We have 2 appointments this evening. We are filling vacancies on the Business and Economic Development Advisory Group and the Zoning Board of Appeals. The volunteers who serve on one of the city's 18 advisory groups, boards, or commissions are dedicated representatives of our community and provide vital insights on policy matters presented to their respective groups. I'm seeking council consensus on the following appointments. The first one is Adam Port to the Business and Economic Development Advisory Group for a term beginning August 1, 2025 through December 31, 2025, and Jeffrey Aronoff for the Zoning Board of Appeals, August 1, 2025 through December 31st, 2028. Do I have your consent? Do I have your consent?
Yes.
Great, thank you. And thank you to them for their volunteerism. We appreciate you joining us in those endeavors. We have no proclamations this evening. I do have an update regarding the place of remembrance. 10 days ago, we marked 3 years of remembrance in a meaningful program at the Moraine. Thank you to everyone who spent part of their holiday reflecting as a community on those whose lives were taken and everyone who was forever impacted on that day. Remembrance is not limited to one day, however, and on behalf of the working group that is planning a permanent place for reflection, remembrance, and solace, we wanted to share an update of recent progress tonight. On a personal note, I feel fortunate to be working alongside this dedicated group of professionals undertaking this important effort to provide detailed research and informed recommendations to the City Council, and I'd like to recognize the other members of the working group at this time. Councilmember Tony Bloomberg, City Manager Gita Newkirk, Resiliency Manager Madeline Cotty, Park District of Highland Park Executive Director Brian Romes, and the Jocelyn Center's Donor Relations Manager Gabby Valverde Strobin. Many thanks also to Assistant City Manager Emily Taub and Communications Manager Amanda Bennett for their continued support of the working group as well. As you might recall, earlier this year, the city engaged a firm to conduct focus groups and community engagement to make an informed, human-centered recommendation regarding the location of the permanent place of remembrance. Based on the feedback from the firm, the working group supported and the City Council affirmed a permanent primary place of remembrance at the Rose Garden next to City Hall and a subtle secondary place of remembrance at Port Clinton Square. The recommendation reflected significant input from victims' families, people who were injured, and community members at large. In the late spring, the city issued a request for qualifications for qualified individuals and firms to lead the next phase of the process, design of the primary and secondary places of remembrance, including extensive community engagement. The working group met last month to review responses to the RFQ and develop a short list. We received nearly 20 thoughtful submittals and greatly appreciated the care that went into each. After reviewing the recommendations of staff and hearing feedback from community members in attendance at the meeting, the working group identified a short list of 4 firms. The short list has been tasked with presenting design concepts to help us understand their approach to the project, and they will participate in interviews later this summer. Each firm has extensive experience in memorial design and will prioritize a trauma-informed approach when working with our community. The next public meeting of the working group will be held on August 27th at 7 p.m. here at City Hall. We encourage everyone to learn more about this planning process as you are able. A wealth of information is available online at hpremembrance.org to be explored at your own pace. In addition, we will continue to provide periodic updates in the City e-News as well as the Highlander. When the time comes for community engagement, which will incorporate multiple different modalities, we will promote those opportunities on the city's website, via social media, e-News, and again in the Highlander. We welcome your proactive feedback. If you have questions, ideas, or concerns to share about the permanent place of remembrance, please email us at remembrance@cityhpil.com. And that is it for the report of the mayor. Is there any business from the council?
Mayor, we did have closed session minutes as well on this agenda.
We do,
Yeah.
okay. They don't seem to be on the agenda that I am looking at.
Can you give the date? It's June 16th. June 16th, yeah.
Not on the agenda. We'll have to take
They're
action.
not on the agenda, so they can't be taken action.
Correct.
So we'll have to take action at our next meeting. Thanks. And so with that, City Manager Newkirk, will you provide the staff report for business from the city staff?
Yes, Mayor. On the omnibus agenda, there are 14 items for consideration. Just want to highlight a few of them. Item number 3 is an award to Schroeder Asphalt Services in the amount of $1.5 million approximately, primarily to reconstruct the Ravinia West train station parking lot. The staff report details that this contract also includes work for 1201 Park Avenue West for the loading dock, which includes drainage improvements, concrete replacement, and installation of a new fence to enclose the dumpster area. It was discovered that the loading dock pitch is angled as such that we are now collecting water in that area. This was not caused by the construction of the parking lot, nor was it caused by the renovation of the senior center property, but it is certainly something that we are recommending to be fixed right away. We have waterproofed and caulked all the apparent joints. Our facility staff has created a 2-inch deep pocket in the concrete to serve as a shallow sump pit for rainwater collection, and we've diverted the downspout as interim measures. The fence for the garbage corral was always on the list to be replaced, but it is in this project area, so we are recommending that it move forward. I did receive a question about the estimated cost for this specific work, and we bid this to obtain economies of scale, so we didn't ask the bidders to itemize their listing for this, but based on the engineer's estimate, we estimate about $90,000 total. And again, that's of the total $1.5 million project. Items number 10 and 11 pertain to the development at 711 Lincoln Avenue West, and then 1349 to 1357 Oakwood Avenue. There are no changes since the last city council meeting. We did review that proposed development, and then the council directed drafting a document, so they're on for consideration this evening. And then item number 14 is the fee resolution regarding motor-driven vehicles as a follow-up to the last committee of the whole and city council meeting. So this agenda item specifically pertains to the fee resolution where the council supported increasing the minimum fee for violations from $10 to $100. The maximum fine at $500 stays the same. And so we're recommending that that be approved. We have heard from some members of the public about the topics in general about e-bikes and scooters. And so consistent with our practice, we are assessing this summer since the approval, assessing the impact of the regulations, and then we will come forward in about a month with a report and recommendation from the council. I do know that there is an interest by a number of officials to revisit particularly that aspect of the regulation that it pertains to e-bikes on the trail system. So we'll bring that forward for consideration. And then there was significant discussion at the committee of the whole as it pertains to our capital project and asphalt and permeable pavers and primarily parking lots and alleys. So we got council feedback pertaining to that, as well as we had discussed information about the business incentives. And so we will move forward per council feedback on that policy discussion.
Great, thank you. With that, now I'll ask Assistant to the City Manager, Albitska to please introduce the next item on our agenda, business from the public.
Thank you, Mayor. The next item on the agenda is business from the public. This is an opportunity for members of the public to address the city council on a topic that is within the council's purview and jurisdiction, but is not listed in another location on the agenda. If you would like to speak about a matter that is listed on the agenda, we ask that you wait until that agenda item is called, and we will give you an opportunity to speak then. If your matter is on the omnibus consent agenda, please let us know if you would like us to remove that matter from the consolidated list so that you can speak about it. Please be aware that business from the public is not intended to be a forum for open dialogue or engagement with members of the city council. Rather, it is intended as an opportunity to make comments to the city council. Please do not expect a response from anyone tonight. If appropriate, questions may be directed to the city manager or other city staff. All comments should be directed to the city council. All speakers will be limited to 3 minutes. We request that speakers refrain from throwing objects or using noisemakers, and that the public not applaud or make other comments after any speaker. We ask that everyone be respectful, civil, and non-repetitive.
Great, thank you so much. Is there any business tonight from the public? Please come forward, and we look forward to hearing from you. Hi, Sue. Please
All
state
right,
your name
I'll
for
read
the,
this real quick. It's less than
please
3
state
minutes.
your name for the record.
It's in here.
Oh, good.
Susan Cole, and I live right down the street on St. John's. So I'm Susan Cole, and I've lived near here for 35 years. I'm here tonight to share my concerns about Ravinia and the shuttle buses they promise to provide people. I've had to adapt and accept the constant bus traffic that goes down my street throughout the summer. I don't love it. But what's worse is seeing people walk the 2 miles when there are not enough buses. People stand in the heat at the train station, waiting in extremely long lines for a bus. Many give up and start walking. I have been driving random people to Ravinia for many years now, and I have hit the wall. Most recently, Sunday, June 29th, an extremely hot and humid night. I made 7 trips that night. One group from Normal, another from Elgin. One family I drove paid $400 for their Ravinia tickets. They had all left home in plenty of time, but could not get a bus and started walking. As I said, it's 2 miles. It was very hot, and it's disturbing for me to see people walking in the heat with chairs and coolers. Some have wagons. It's still a drag, and Ravinia promises this transportation. They finally arrived down there exhausted and angry. How do you enjoy the evening after that? I saw a man resting on a cooler. One woman I drove was wearing flip-flops. I'll never forget the Anita Baker show a few years ago. My son and I both drove people that night. Why is this allowed to happen year after year? It's very disturbing to me to see these people walking in the heat. I'm hoping this can be more than an opportunity to vent. I'm hoping Ravinia will provide parking and transportation for people, even on their sold-out nights. They promise it, and therefore have that obligation. And I think it reflects badly on Highland Park. Can someone from the city require Ravinia to have adequate transportation for all of their concerts? I sincerely hope so. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you want to respond?
Yeah, I'm happy to address briefly, and thank you, Susan, for your comments. We can certainly take a look at it. So first, we don't recommend that any residents drive individuals they don't know for safety purposes. Certainly appreciate what you're doing, but just sensitive to any safety considerations as it pertains to that. So one, the city does operate a transit system. Ravinia pays for that service, and so we have over a dozen buses that are used for the high attendance concert. We know that there are individuals waiting, but those buses are regularly making stops direct from the pickup location to Ravinia and back, and it's a loop. In addition, Ravinia several years ago established an agreement with Metra. So anyone with a paid ticket to Ravinia Festival can ride the Metra for free. And so that's another mode of transportation that they have been amplifying and promoting to their guests. And then certainly there is the trail system as well that people can use should they desire to. So there is staff at all the locations. They have communication back with each other. So if there are individuals waiting, and they should be communicating with all the guests of Ravinia to give approximate timelines of, when the buses will be there and when the last one left and so forth. But certainly appreciate your concern. We can take a look at it as well.
And we have meetings before and after the season with the staff of Ravinia to debrief and to talk about issues. And I know, Councilmember Bruckman, you are the liaison to those meetings as well. So the message will be brought to Ravinia. Obviously, we don't want to wait until the end of the season, and I'm pretty sure that they are aware, because I saw your next door post, and that was going pretty broadly. So happy to share that concern with them and see if there's anything that can be done to ameliorate the problem. But thank you for raising it. Councilmember, nope, okay. Thanks, Sue. Anybody else?
Good evening, Walter Hainsfurther, longtime Highland Park resident. I'm here tonight to ask for 3 specific things for the council to consider. All of them, I believe, benefit the city as a whole. Number 1 is I would like them to consider an adaptive reuse zoning classification. A couple of years ago at the Corporation Council's usual training for various city officials, they presented a similar ordinance that is in place in Oak Park, if I remember correctly. And what it would allow is buildings that have significance in the community to remain and be reused for other purposes. And I would use Lincoln School as a perfect example. It could have possibly been turned into multifamily housing instead of being torn down and replaced with single-family housing, which I think a number of the neighbors would have appreciated. They get comfortable with what they know and the bulk of it. As a bonus, it's also far more sustainable to maintain an existing building than it is to replace it. And we know that there's going to be additional schools and other significant buildings, churches, synagogues that are going to be having difficulty and be up for sale. Secondly, I would like to see you consider eliminating the ordinance that restricts design professionals from serving on land use commissions. I've been watching Solo Cup, and I see the Plan and Design Commission really struggling with the design of that property. So much so that it's really been bogging down the hearing. Architects, landscape architects, they have a specific skill set that benefits these commissions, and yet on zoning and on PDC, there are none because they're not allowed to serve if they do business within the city. You have a new ethics ordinance, and that should take care of any conflict that exists. And if a conflict does exist, you have remedies beyond keeping them from serving. It would benefit the community to have that expertise on those commissions. Third, it's become apparent over the last several elections that there are barriers to those seeking office. There are large parts of this city that are unrepresented. Currently, you all live, for the most part, south of Central and east of Green Bay Road. The exception is Councilman Bloomberg, who lives just north of Central and just east of 41. So that leaves huge parts of the community unrepresented. I don't know the answer, whether it's wards or it's campaign finance reform, because I think it's extremely expensive to run for office. In Oak Park, in Orland Park and Tinley Park, it cost $1 million to run for mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public wishing to be heard?
Hello.
Hello.
I'm James Lynch. I'm the executive director of the Art Center. I'm the chairman of the board of the Chamber of Commerce. I've served on the Cultural Arts Commission and the Cultural Arts Advisory Group. And when I first came to the Art Center, I took a box of chalk and I put it out on the sidewalk. And somebody that worked there said, not anymore, she doesn't work there anymore. And she said, what if people start drawing things, you know? and it'll be objectionable, and people would not like. I said, well, let's see. So it's 8 years now, and nobody's drawn anything objectionable. So in the discussion earlier, it came up if an exterior grant could fund murals. And I'd like to ask that be removed from that agenda and reviewed. Because when we're talking about making a city vibrant, one of the ways you do that is art. And we just keep drawing a line, sorry for the pun, between the resources available to us. And over the years, I've sent tons of information to almost everybody on this panel about the ways the arts contribute to a community, not only fiscally, but to the image, the brand, and again, for vibrancy. So if we're going to fund an awning or, refreshing a graphic, I think there's a misconception about what a mural could be or would be. And as Councilperson Tapia said before, nobody's going to apply for an exterior grant to put something ugly, nasty, or objectionable on the front of their store. It's to attract attention, it's to create a wow. And in this time where social media is everything, we want people to be able to stand in front of it and take a picture and post it on Instagram, on Facebook. And we see it, in Highwood. I don't think any of those are objectionable. What happened in Highwood, as a matter of fact, it causes a lot of traffic coming to Highwood. It is now an art tourism spot. And we're not talking about painting all the buildings with anime figures or anything like that. We just want to add some beauty. It could be a flower, what's objectionable. So there could be wording, and it could be handled differently, that if somebody is going to use the exterior grant for a mural, that there can be some sort of review. I think we can work out the wording with everybody here that would allow for us to use that lever and not leave it on the table. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other members of the public wishing to be heard this evening? Okay. We will move on to scheduled business. Items 1 through 14 have been grouped together for omnibus consideration. I'm seeking a motion to approve items 1 through 14.
So moved.
Second?
Any comments or questions from the council on items 1 through 14?
And Mayor, if I may just clarify for item number 10, which is the approval of the plat of subdivision for the 711 Lincoln property. Just want to clarify, consistent with the plat that's attached, there are some variations that are required for this plat. One lot will have 5 sides if this is approved. Multiple of them will have lot angles that are not 90-degree angles. So just abundance of caution, I want to clarify that for the council's
Great,
benefit and the
thank you.
public. Thank you.
Any members of the public wishing to comment on items 1 through 14? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Will the clerk call the vote?
Councilmember Center?
Aye.
Councilmember Bruckman?
Aye.
Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Tapia?
Aye.
Councilmember Littlewer?
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mayor Rotering?
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays. Items 1 through 14 are approved. Item 15 is an ordinance amending a special use permit, revoking a special use permit, and then granting a special use permit for a planned development at 1651 Richfield Avenue. Do we need a presentation, or are people comfortable moving forward? Okay.
good to go.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve item 15?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Welcome, and glad that you're here for this. Thank you. Did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just wanted to make the comment that there's no exterior changes to this, and that was one of the reasons that this made it very good, and we're very grateful to this group, I think, for presenting or filling a need that I think our community has, so.
Very much. Very
So
excited.
we're very happy about that.
Absolutely. Thank you. So we do, yes.
And this development is really a testament to the spirit of Highland Park. I mean, not only everybody, the developers who volunteer their time, the CCHI families, the city of Highland Park, certain banking institutions that really were part of helping the financing. So it's a fabulous project, not only in terms of the outcome that was going to provide housing for people with disabilities and be in community, but what it took. It's one of those classics. Takes a village. This is one of those stories, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. Get now the ribbon cutting on July 18th at 2 PM.
Oh, yeah, that was what I wanted to say. I wanted to add my voice to theirs, that this is just a phenomenal project that I hope will be a model for other communities, because the need is great, and that there's a ribbon cutting, and you just said, or I'm sorry, not ribbon
July
cutting,
18th.
groundbreaking.
Groundbreaking.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
a celebration, July 18th at 2 PM.
looking forward.
Yeah,
Wonderful.
right, there's no crowd.
Okay, we do have a motion, we have a second. Will the clerk please call the vote?
Councilmember Center?
Aye.
Councilmember Brookman?
Aye.
Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Tapia?
Yes.
Councilmember Littlewer?
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mayor Rotering?
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays. Item 15 is approved. I'm now seeking a motion to go into closed session.
Your Honor, Mayor, I moved,
Whatever,
technically,
long day in court, huh?
long day, yes. Move to go into closed session for purposes of discussing pending litigation, personnel and employment matters, security officer and security pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2C11, 1 and 8.
Second.
Thank you. Will the clerk please call the vote?
Councilmember Center?
Aye.
Councilmember Brockman?
Aye.
Councilmember Ross?
Aye.
Councilmember Tapia?
Aye.
Councilmember Littlewer?
Aye.
Councilmember Bloomberg?
Aye.
Mayor Rotering?
Aye, 7 ayes, no nays. We are going into closed session. Thank you.